How do you feel about knowing and belief? So you believe in certain things, but you actually know that maybe you need to change those beliefs. What do you think about that?
It's a good question. It's a really good question. It's a really powerful question, and definitely sometimes the realization. It's that realization sometimes that gets you up in the early hours of the morning where you're going for something and you, at one point, don't consciously process the task, and you think, well, can I do that? And I think sometimes it's a good place to be. I think that apprehension is a good place to be, because there is a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I think when we realise that, it's just telling us to work on whatever we feel necessary to work on. So I don't think there's going to be a time, I think that if we set our sights at a very high level, there will be that apprehension, that we will question ourselves at times. Yet it goes back to focusing on that solution. I think as well as that, what's key, we may not achieve what we set out to achieve, we may not go on and do what we set out to do, but it's that journey. You might not reach where you set out to reach, but you'll find a different path. I never set out to be, hand on heart, a coach or a trainer. My heart was set on being a sports person, yet the best thing that ever happened to me was having to give up through a very serious injury that debilitated me a lot, really, at the time. But when I look back now, I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me at the time. I couldn't understand it at the time, but now I look back, great. And I think having that belief is powerful, really. So definitely, there are times when you feel a bit overwhelmed, but that's not a bad place to be at times too.
Right, another one was, sorry.